Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mind Body TV. I'm Dr. Kim Duramo, and I am going to be sharing today about how to have healing sessions from your higher self. This may sound a little weird or esoteric to some, because who's your higher self? And is that something I can tap into? And that sounds really airy-fairy. And even what is a healing session? And so I'm going to talk a lot about from kind of the doctor side of things, medical body, and the spiritual side of things, of how we are not just a physical being, we are a spiritual being having a physical experience, how we can tap into higher wisdom and receive not just the awareness of like what to do, what to eat, where to go, what's going to create the most for my life, but also receive direct healing integrations, like allow a reintegration throughout our system, an upgrade, so to speak. Just like you reboot your computer or you put a new system on your computer and it runs better and it has awareness and information it didn't have before, your system runs the same way and it directly affects every cell in your physical body. I'm going to share a little bit about my experience with this recently and why it's such a powerful thing to do that we all really should be tapping into more. So welcome to everyone who's here live. Hi, Stephanie, Joni, Rachel, Victoria, Wendy. Hi, Courtney. I've been thinking about you, which is kind of interesting. I'll touch base soon. Nicole, Heather, Jennifer, and everyone who is listening to the recording, because I know a lot of people are going to listen to the podcast or watch the recorded video. So hello and welcome to Mind Body TV. For those of you who don't know me, I have had a really significant awakening experience when I was really young that allowed me to kind of see through people and really be able to perceive energy, not just physicality. Hearing people's thoughts, knowing what was about to happen, knowing why people were doing what they were doing, what was going on in their body underneath it all, that most people weren't aware of themselves. And it was really disorienting at first, but over years I integrated this and it became not just this big problem, but actually a really huge gift, especially as a physician in the emergency room. You know, most really good ER doctors operate really intuitively anyway, even if they're completely unaware that they're doing it. They're letting in extrasensory information and perceptions and awareness and making really important decisions on that. And the more you practice that, the more you rely on that inner knowing. So for me, I've taken it to a whole different realm, being able to assist people with chronic illness, anxiety, depression, fatigue, thyroid disease, autoimmune disease, pain, to have an understanding and awareness of what is really going on that can be released and how to release it, how to let those blocks go so health can flow through the body. So this is what I've been up to, and we have started Mind Body TV. I don't even know if it's 2 years ago. It's been a while, to bring some pieces of this to you. So I love hearing where you are listening from, and tuning in from. Victoria from Arizona. I'm always excited to learn something to help me move forward. Thank you. Awesome. And yeah, I'm going to just zip through all these comments because there's a lot of them coming in. But Jennifer says, so glad to be here. Much needed today. I know stress is manifesting as inflammation right now. That's a big piece in psychoneuroimmunology, the science of how your thoughts affect your chemistry, your immune system, your nervous system, and how much inflammation gets created when we're in this fear state. That really does affect our health and our ability to heal. Okay, so what is this higher self? How do I connect with it? And what's possible that I can receive from this aspect of me? Well, many of you may have heard about the higher self, but maybe there's not such a clear understanding of like, what is it? Where is it? How do I connect with it? For me, because I have been so adept at listening to my higher wisdom, letting it come through, sharing it with others, doing a read with someone across the world on a Skype session and reading into their system and letting it come through, I can hear it really clearly. And it sounds just like my own thoughts, except it's more that I'm receiving the wisdom instead of like thinking about it. It's not coming from my mind and the stuff I've learned or read in a book or what I've been told. It is a way higher frequency, a way higher consciousness. So the more you practice with this, the more ordinary the experience becomes, that's for sure. But how do we first begin to tap into our higher selves? You don't need to be able to hear it. That kind of can come later. But if you just relax your body, and this is why I tell everybody, relax your body, breathe more fully. That is the first step to accessing higher awareness. So when you do relax and then just start to breathe all the way down into the belly, that will turn off the sympathetic nervous system. So just put your hands on your belly, let your belly balloon out with the inhale, and relax your shoulders. And then just let your belly sink back in with the exhale. When you relax your shoulders, you stop breathing up into the shoulders and neck, and it turns off that fight or flight pattern right away. So even if you're like, I don't know how to do belly breathing because your body's held so much tension, if you just relax your shoulders, the breath will naturally come down further into the belly and pelvis. So just even if it's just 2% more, that's going to add up. It's going to go a long way for you as you just keep relaxing your shoulders and breathing into your belly. You immediately come more into what's called the parasympathetic state, where your nervous system is more in like the housekeeping stage of your digestion, releasing waste products, kind of tending to the like upkeep, helping your body detoxify. When you're in fight or flight, that all gets shut off. You're not digesting your food, you're running from a tiger. And most people are living in that state like 90% of the time, and then they try to crash and go to sleep, but then they wake up a few hours later because you can't actually settle your nervous system down enough to get a solid 8 to 10 hours of restorative sleep. I did on my front page of my website at drkimd.com, there's a free download about this and a meditation to bring you through that deeper space of sleep to allow this restoration to happen. It's at drkimd.com, and if you scroll to the bottom, one of the banners there has it. You can just download that for free. But that's a really a good understanding of like why so many people are having problems sleeping and how to go deeper into that restorative state. So when we're in the sympathetic, that is not what's happening. And most of the medical like wellness solutions out there are there to kind of support you in getting through that. So you got to have like restrictive diet. Don't eat any of these inflammatory things, and like let's decrease the inflammation. Or supplements that you take to help your body digest food or help your immune system work better. Or there's a million different things people are doing to try to kind of remedy this and work within that space. But if you can just go deeper and release that, your body's going to get 90% healthier within a really short time. Just from your being willing to let go of that fear, tension, stress. And I'm not saying it all happens at once, but even a slight shift in like releasing fear and going deeper will make a big difference. I had an experience yesterday. I lay down on my chiropractor's table and I was like, and then I realized I was like spinning, my mind was going. And I was like, okay, I'll just get through the day and I'll relax later on. And I was like, Kim, that's not gonna work. There's no other moment than now. What can you do right now to go deeper into stillness? And I'm like, oh yeah. So I like do this one thing where I just pull all my energy back in. For me, when I'm feeling that revved up, a lot of times my energy is like out in front of me. If you're energy sensitive, this will be easy to play with. You just kind of pull it back in from like 3 to 5 feet in front of you. Just pull it right back into your body. And you'll feel this like parasympathetic nervous system get activated because your body will register. If your awareness is, what do I got to do next? Where am I going? I got to pick my daughter up at 3, and then I got to do this thing later, and I got to make sure, and am I on time? Okay, let me just stop at the chiropractor and do this. Your inner state is registering all of that, and there's discord. So you're not in the, restorative, let me make sure I'm digesting that lunch I had and detoxifying, and what does my body need? Your system doesn't have a chance to do that because your energy is outside your body. It'll immediately affect your inflammation in your immune system. It'll affect your ability to digest foods. You have tons of food intolerances. It will affect, even your sexual hormones, your hormones aging, all of this. So I had that split second realizing I was in this disharmony and that my mind was going, oh, it'll, next week's going to be a chill week, or I'll slow down later. And it was like, no, 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 no. You can only live now. So I got present and I was like, oh, let me just pull my energy back in. Be here now. There's nowhere to get. There's nowhere to go. Everything is happening right here. So do that for yourself right now. Just breathe, pull your energy back, relax, 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 and let yourself be present. Now, relaxing the shoulders, that's going to shift your breathing. This is a big shift that can happen. And what will happen for a lot of us is you'll feel more tension and more fear, not less. Because now that you relax those protections, all the stuff you were trying to put under the rug is going to come up. Let it come up. Breathe in, breathe fully into it, and then just exhale. Breathe out, relax. Letting yourself move through it instead of trying to clamp down again and suppress it is going to be the way to release the energy. Okay, so how do we connect with the higher self? So when we're in that relaxed state, that's why meditation is so powerful. We're releasing that sympathetic overdrive. We're entering more harmony with the parasympathetics getting ignited. And then all you got to do is just reside, pull your energy down to the heart, feel the space around your heart. And what I'll do, because I will do these sessions, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I'll make time, sit in my sauna, just like I'm showing up for a session with a practitioner. And I will do some breathing. You can actually do first finger and thumb together, both hands, and just breathe in and out through your mouth 5 times. This will calm the beta brain states. So keep breathing in and out through the mouth, in through the mouth, out through the mouth 5 times. When there are patterns running, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I'm not enough, I'm not okay. It just turns all that off. You don't have to repattern your brain. You can enter the heart and it does that for you. And so this beta breathing is one of the tools I got from Sylvie Olivier, one of my mentors. And it will calm down those belief systems, fear patterns. So that's the first thing I do. And then I just presence my heart and I'll say, I am open, I am receptive, I'm ready to receive. And it's a meditation. I just sit there with my eyes closed, but it's an intentional communing with the higher aspect of me, the one who has that wisdom. And I'll not only ask for like clarity about my work or my marriage or my kids, I will surrender my system to allow it to receive a download. It's like turning off your computer while it's rebooting. You've got to let your computer shut off. Like, okay, do what you got to do. You can shut off. I'm not going to be operating on you for a minute. If you keep using the computer, it can't do that reboot while you're in it. And that's how your brain works. If it's in beta, right now I'm in like beta and alpha, I'm relaxed, but I'm present, there's cognition. If you're in beta going about your day, you can't have this level of reboot. No matter how present you are, you can go deeper when you get into like a theta brainwave, alpha, theta, maybe delta, you're more calm. So aware and alert, alpha and theta. And you don't have to worry about that so much as just go into your belly breathing, clear, relax your shoulders, do the beta breathing if you like, and then just bring your awareness to your heart and let your system know, I'm ready to receive. It's okay for me to receive a reboot, a reintegration, a total new understanding of what's possible for me. I did this because for years I was always like, I wish I had someone who can do what I do, can come in, read someone's whole system, and immediately know what like harmonizations and tools will allow these energies to release, the biggest energies that are in the way, and do that harmonization. Like, I want that, because I'd meet other people and it was like, this person's not really conscious enough to really get to what's going on. There's not a high enough frequency that we've brought to the equation. And I finally realized, like, Kim, you got to stop looking out there. It's all in here. Would you be willing to spend more time in here? For me, it required me to slow down more and meet everything that came along with that, and to go more into stillness. And stillness in my brain, my mind did not like that. My mind wants to be purposeful and productive. And so there are all these really strong programs playing around that actually kept me from moving forward, because they kept me from going deeper with myself, from meeting myself more fully. And that was just like the never-ending universe of more and going and chasing it. And so, you know, each year of my life, I've been willing to go deeper and have more presence. But that willingness is like to meet this space of fear. Space of fear says, don't slow down. There's nothing good going on in there. You got to go out there and do it. So I'd go into my meditation and be like, oh, wait, I forgot to do that thing. Let me just do that thing. Oh, let me take care of this. I forgot to call and so back. Let me just make a message. And then I'd be like, then I feel better. I'm complete. Let me do my meditation now. But then the next thing pop up, the next thing would pop up. So I finally realized, like, to have that level of presence with myself, to receive the depth of what my higher self has for me, I've got to be willing to get beyond those mind patterns and stop listening to them and trying to just allay them, because it's always going to be temporary. And I haven't done this perfectly, but what I have done has created a lot. I'm going to read some questions and then get into that. All right. Mary Nina, hello, Isabel. Thank you for acknowledging your listeners. You're very welcome. Lena from Norway. Mary, listening from Swansea, Mass. I know Swansea. Wendy says, how can you sense and listen to your higher self when in so-called lower frequencies, emotional body states such as shame, despair, and pain? This is such a good question, and it is the most important thing I could talk about. We think that lower frequencies keep us from like hearing our higher wisdom. But all we need to do is be willing to be in the frequency we're in. It's not like I'm willing to be in a lower frequency. It's like I'm willing to be in the frequency that I'm in right now, more fully. That's how you access higher wisdom. You don't have to come into a frequency higher than the one you're in now. And that's a big spiritual bullshit thing. Like, I got to get somewhere and then I'll have this inner wisdom. It's not true. You know, and I know people, if you're Christian and you follow that parable about Jesus, where it's like, my hardest moments, you weren't there for me. Where were you? And I only see one set of footprints. And Jesus said, well, when you saw one set of footprints is when I carried you. You know, I'm walking along with Jesus and there's two sets of footprints. Jesus was on my path with me, but then these were the hardest moments of my life. And there's only one set of footprints. WTF, Jesus. And Jesus said, those were the times I carried you. And so it's the same thing. You don't have to be Christian or anything like that. But to realize that your higher self is more there for you. That's the whole reason you have access to higher wisdom, is like when you are in trouble, when you are challenged, when you have lost it. I had one of the people in my life who is going through a really intense life change. And, you know, she sees the exit strategy to massive joy and love and freedom. But this other person in her life is kind of manipulative and like, no, you know, you shouldn't do this. You can't do this to me. And she's in this doubt of like, whoa, maybe I shouldn't, you know, like I could just accelerate and choose myself fully, or like, and I'm muddled and I'm in this limbo and I don't know. And I was like, you're not actually in limbo. You're just going back and forth from clarity to doubt. And it's okay to keep moving forward with this. But what happened is she kept choosing her alignment. I choose to be aligned with my freedom. I choose myself fully. Is life rearranged it for her and had that other person like exit her life pretty abruptly. But it's a reflection of how willing she was to choose herself. So it's no longer a difficult decision where she's being manipulated. Now it's like, done for you. You're done. You get to be free and move into a more expansive space. But she chose it on some level, but she didn't actually have to go through the, you know, the nitty gritty of like working it all out. Sometimes when we choose, it happens for us. So you can let your higher wisdom come in. You can move into surrender. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm in so much confusion and shame and fear. Show me the way. I surrender. I'm ready to let go. And just for 2 minutes, just breathe into your heart, because that's actually going to bring up the shame, not make it go away like, oh, this feels so good, la, la, la. No, it's going to be like, oh, this is bringing everything to the surface. Wow. And just keep breathing. You will be carried through it. There's a light in you. So welcome that light in. Breathe that light in. That's why in the programs I share, the instant elevation program, it's in the pain release program, go into those spaces and then welcome in light, welcome in willingness and presence. It is so powerfully transmutive. That's what will allow those energies to release. Hi, Jersey Mike, expanding the East Coast with Dr. Kim. Yes. Terry, Kate, hello, love, Maura. All right, Christine, Evely from sunny South Africa. Wow, that's exciting. Eva from Spain. Tatiana, hello. Oh, Levon from New Zealand. Okay, Farah. Thank you for all your amazing videos. This issue came full circle for me on Monday. Still processing how bizarre it is, but I found a solution to my 1.5-year health issue myself after seeing 4 doctors and 2 surgeons. Thank goodness I kept refusing surgery. Whoa, beautiful, Farah. It's a great thing to have that knowing, like, this option's not right for me. I don't know what is, but I'm gonna let that go for now. Versus being in resistance or fear and refusing surgery, where you're like, no, I hate surgery, doctors are bad, I can't go there, and I know that's wrong. And then you buy into this belief that it's wrong. That's a different thing entirely. So be in neutrality. I'm willing to receive all things with grace and ease. What will it take for me to have those solutions show up? And then it may feel like there's an invitation for something, and you're like, I would have never thought of that before, but let's just look at it. The more you're in clarity, the more you'll have the awareness. Beautiful, Melanie. Hello. Elena. Rachel says, I spent the best part of 3 decades. Maybe this is the best part. Out there searching for answers and cures after totally believing what I was told about not being able to get better. Doctors said because my condition hadn't been caught in time. Whoa, that's a heavy thing. And it become so severe that was it for me. I wouldn't make any progress. Wow, it's really kind of surprising to me that any doctor could actually buy that as ultimately true. I had tried everything over the years until my life began at 40, when I found this work and you. I'm sorry, where was I? Because I just got a little. But although I'm so much better, there's still a lingering sadness for the years of being so ill. Let that go, girlfriend. You're exactly where you need to be. These are the best years. The mind can just hijack that, right? Like, what are you making that mean? Like, because you're 45 years old, or what is it that you're making? Like, why is this not, you've arrived, and you arrived just in time, because the world's ready for you right now. We kind of just showed up to the level we're at too. All right, she says, although I'm so much better, there's this lingering sadness for all the years of being so ill. And also a fear I'll become sick again. That's another layer. So just transmute. And I know I don't need to make it wrong. You saw that. I don't need to make it wrong or make myself wrong. I just sit with it, but I'm struggling to get it to move through. How do you release these stubborn pieces of resistance? So if you could go into that space of greater depth with yourself, and I'm just going to guide you on this one thing. It's going to feel like nothing's happening, and your mind's going to try to get you to not go there, because it is like the sacred space of all that is that's able to happen, a massive transmutation and upgrade. But your mind's going to be like, no. I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong, and prevent you from really just being present to what comes up. So if you could just so for me, what I had to do partly to get that mind thing that always wants to be productive, to stop tuning in here to my phone and start tuning in here to my heart, to my body, was go, oh, the most productive thing that I could possibly do is to tune in here in my heart, in my body. So, okay, you want to be productive? Go here. And I've had, this period of time of not tuning in so much here in my phone. Another thing you can do is, like, when you do look at your phone, like reflexively, just put a little reminder, and you can have your screen say it. What are you really looking for? What are you really looking for? Because you're going in there to find validation or a sense of progression or a sense of something's happening, or to get distraction because something's actually coming up that's subconscious, that's hard to meet. And you're like, let me go check my emails. I'll make sure I get this. Oh, what did I get on my Instagram thing? Oh, what's happening in there? Did anybody need me? Did anybody message me? And you realize, like, what are you avoiding? So I always will say, like, what do I really need right now? And if I can give that to myself, everything in my life can show up as a reflection of that. There really is nowhere else to go. So if you have that little productivity bug like I did, that's a good way to short circuit that little nip the fly. For you, Rachel, you're doing great. So as you commune in this space of yourself, you're letting this higher aspect of you show up more fully. And you can specifically bring those pains and those woes and those fears, the fear, like it will come back in your awareness and bring it to the table. You don't have to get, like I said before, into a higher state first. You can be fully present to the emotion that you're in right now. Deborah says, hi, Dr. Kim. As I've been meeting my fear with openness and compassion, my pain level in my body has increased greatly. Neck, back, hips, everything's screaming at me. Also my gut. A lifetime of holding toxic emotions in my body are asking to be released. I'm trying to be gentle with myself and in neutrality without being impatient. It's like all the years of pushing aside and unwillingness to face them is right here, right now. There's a lag time with my knowing in my heart and my body catching up. So have compassion for yourself in the fact that you didn't do this before and like sooner, I didn't do it sooner. It's okay. And then remember, like, it's okay that it's going right now is when I'm ready to meet myself with compassion. And then just drink a ton of water. Yes, yes, yes to the pain. Yes, yes, yes to what's surfacing because it's all the shit moving out. Yes, yes, yes. And actually celebrate it for what it really is, which is evidence that you're releasing all this old heavy stuff, and support your physical body through it, like self-massage, moving through, especially what we're going to do a lot in the retreats next year. I'm going to do these liquid dance and the yoga of self-healing retreats. This is one thing that came from communing with my higher self, is all this clarity about what I'm going to do in my live events and retreats and my work. And the yoga of self-healing is not like this mind-body medicine, as I may have been like in a context of before. Mind-body medicine is just within the body. But what the work is that I've been doing is non-local. And you feel that we're connecting all over the world. I can connect with someone through a Facebook post or in a Skype session on the other side of the world and feel exactly and know exactly what's going on in their body. So mind-body medicine doesn't actually encapsulate that non-local aspect of what my work really is. And it also the yoga of self-healing is a practice. It's not, okay, I did it, didn't work, and now I still have this problem. No, it's a transmutation into who I am and who I'm being, and yoking with my infinite self and letting it come through. And so in my deeper connection with my higher self, this was like boom, 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 like came as this really powerful download, and I'm journaling in the middle of my yoga class, like the whole thing. And so there is a communion, a yoga, which is yoking, that happens where there's my lower self, my ego, perception, my mind, and then there's my higher self. And when I let that in, it actually will transmute the lower self, the mind, perception, identity, and the physical body. You actually receive a cellular transmutation. It's pretty cool that we have science to show this and to see what's happening in the body with the immune system, with the digestive system, with the cellular mechanisms. So we can see it, but you don't necessarily need to know that in order to really feel it and experience it and choose to do this. So let yourself have, whether you schedule the time for 20 minutes or just like while you're driving your car as well. I would definitely do some scheduled times, because to practice with it lets you integrate it to a deeper level so that when you are marching about your life, it's there to a higher degree. And let yourself receive. I'm ready to receive the download, because there's a surrender that's required for that. Like your higher self can't just be like, you're getting it and I'm coming in. You've got to be willing and let your system know, like, I am ready to receive something higher. And it's an upgrade in consciousness. So yes, it's okay to embrace what seems like the symptoms getting worse as they move through. That's why I created the mind-body solution for pain release, was because so many people were sharing like how powerful this work was for pain, but then they would get scared when they felt the pain more and not less. And it was like, how do I move through that? So see if you can continue to just take a bath, take an Epsom salt bath, make it what's right about this experience, not what's wrong. Haley says, hi Haley, this is really timely for me. I was just diagnosed with an autoimmune disease and I'm wondering, how am I supposed to know if certain things my doctor says I need to do are really true for me? Oh, you'll feel it. You'll feel like, yep, like, you know, hey, you're going to drink this thing. And you're like, I'm going to drink this thing. Thank you. Or, oh, you got to do this thing, you know, and 6 times a day and only at like, you know, one minute past the hour. And it'll feel really complex and heavy and convoluted. And you're like, okay, I got to do this thing. I can do that. And it will feel like a sense of hope, but not actually a sense of serenity. So is there an innate sense of serenity? Like, yep, I can reorganize my entire world around this regime and I'm doing it. Or is it a sense of just more fear and more trepidation? Now, at first you might not know because you haven't like aligned enough to get that clarity and discernment. So just take a few minutes, like I welcome in everything that's aligned for me. It's okay for me to welcome what's aligned for me. And then there'll be the serenity of like, okay, choice A, choice B, and feel the frequency of those two. Okay, she says, I feel so resentful. Restricting food causes me to binge, and then on the other foods, that's going to happen when you're battling yourself. And actually, the Embracing Health program, it might be a great one for you because it's all about establishing this inner alignment and releasing everything that's having you not receive that clarity and higher self and higher wisdom, and let it just come in. That's where that discord goes. Like we're in the mind. And so it's like, oh, I can't have these things. Oh my God, I have to have these things. And then our behaviors, like controlling your behavior is not going to work. It's essential that you increase your frequency. But increase your frequency doesn't mean trying to get to a higher frequency than where you are. It means be where you are with greater willingness and greater presence. That is the shift in frequency. So that may be something you want to look at, that program. It's a year-long integration, but it's done on your own at home with some live guidance from me. That program is at drkimd.com/health. And it is awesome and powerful and amazing. And I'm delighted to be able to bring that. It's live tomorrow. That page will be ready to go tomorrow as far as actually signing up. Right now, you're just getting on the list. But we'll be announcing that Thursday. Okay, Susan says, entering the heart will calm everything down. Yeah, this is about accessing the higher mind, accessing the universal mind, entering the heart. So just like bring your head all the way down to your heart, like be here, all the way down to your belly, all the way down to your hips. Be way down here and ground, and it will get you out of your head. And it doesn't matter what those brain patterns are. They're dissolving as you do this, but you don't have to change them or fix them because they're transmuting through this process of connecting with the universal mind. Very, very powerful. Deborah says, I see how hard it's been for me to put myself anywhere on my list of priorities. And the anger I've felt because no one's paying attention to what I want and what I need. I'm paying attention to me now, and things are really shifting. It's beautiful to listen to anger and let anger be a gift of like, okay, where am I betraying myself? Where am I buying into BS that's not true? Julie says, just this morning, hi Joanne, I stopped my thyroid meds after months of feeling my inner knowing say that I don't need it. Even the doctor said I could go off of it, but I've been too afraid, and I still am. It doesn't make sense to me to build the trust. Let's have your mind get on board a little bit. Your mind could understand the fact that your cells are constantly regenerating, that when you're no longer suppressing yourself, you can have regeneration of your energetic systems like adrenals and thyroid. Easy. You're not talking about turning your liver cells into a cat. You're talking about turning, unhealthy liver cells into healthy, vibrant liver cells. Same with your thyroid. It's like unhealthy cells that are like, oh, I just can't do it anymore. And you're trying to like just put that thyroid in there to compensate for that. But now that you've had some realignment, your cells are like, yeah, I'm getting what I need. I can do what I'm here and what I'm designed to do, and regenerate and work very differently. So don't buy into the idea that like my thyroid's broken, it will never be the same. And so how can I get off medications? Especially if your doctor is confirming, like, go for it, try it, see what happens, and send lots of love to your thyroid and say, thank you, thank you, thank you that I have this wisdom in me and this energy in me and this life flowing through my body. Melanie says, when I come into my body, there's a sort of specific, is there a specific spot or space where I can rest my awareness? Yep, your heart, your heart. So just like breathe, feel your chest. You can even like rub your chest, put your hand on your chest. That's a beautiful way to do it. You can expand it from there to your entire body. Hello, Amy from New Brunswick, Canada. Lena, what do you think is the reason or emotional reason people have chronic fatigue? It's totally different for everyone. Chronic fatigue and PEM, and are allergic to activity. I just can't figure it out. I don't know what PEM is. It doesn't matter. It's funny when people throw acronyms, and I'm like, there's so many acronyms, but I don't exactly remember what that is right now. But every person, it's a little different, exactly what is blocking us or what BS belief systems we've bought into that are keeping us in suppression. In the Embracing Health program, there are so many integrations, and people have come forward, and all of them unconscious to what was going on, but we'd release and harmonize and release and harmonize, and then there's clearing. So moving through those integrations is a really powerful way to become aware of, like, oh yeah, exactly what she just said. Oh my God, I feel it in every cell in my body. That's exactly what's going on. And you will feel the release. You'll feel the transmutation. So from anywhere, whether you're in that program or not, it's more about you becoming conscious within you. Where am I betraying myself? A lot of times, so that's the generalization, but the specifics, a lot of times with chronic fatigue, we are in a pattern where the body's trying to reboot, regenerate, and we've been in this conclusion of like, no, I can't stop. No, I can't slow down. No, that's become nothing. A sense of worthlessness, a sense of lack of value. I've got to keep going. A sense of inadequacy. I have to keep going and try and push and overcome, and I've got to overcome this fatigue. I know for me, that was a big one running the show that kind of propagated the fatigue and made it that like chronic fatigue pattern. But I was aware at the time that I was like, wait a minute, what's really, what if I did allow greater stillness and just surrender to stillness? Would it really wash over me and obliterate me? Because the ego fears death, and it is going to be the death of the old self, who's go, overcome, prove, and the birth of the new self, who's I'm ready to receive infinitely, who is a receiver. So that is one of the things that can come up with chronic fatigue. And I've seen this many, many, many times. So I can say that as a specific, even though for each individual, there are subtle nuances that are a little different. If you do come into Embracing Health, we could look at that a little bit, and you'll certainly move through a lot of that. But for those with chronic fatigue, you can kind of make that, that generalization too, and realize like, okay, where is that true for me, that I'm trying to push through my symptoms and overcome my symptoms and mind over matter, instead of receiving what's going on and embracing what my experience of what's happening. So there's resistance. Mary says, I can feel and catch my shoulders going up to my ears every day. I hold so much stress. Your guidance has really helped me relax. Hello, Bethany, Isabel, Yashika. All right, Priya says, I want to know how I can heal my thin hair. Let me just read a little bit about this. A lot of emotional grief. People are judging me. I want to know how I can access my higher self and call in healing. Well, one thing, the experience with thinning hair and then the judgment and embarrassment that's coming up is really allowing you or alerting you of energies you've carried that are ready to release. So there's no coincidence that it's bringing up those energies specifically. When you can meet those more fully, your body can have greater healing. And specifically what's going on, you know, I'm not sure exactly with the thin hair and specifics of that, but if you can embrace what's happening, you will move through it more fluidly and find solutions, whatever they may be. I feel into that a little bit. And then the other thing I want to say is, if you're trying to heal a problem, it actually just creates more problems because you're trying to fix yourself. And this is one of the big premises of Embracing Health. And I'll talk more about this later. You can't create more health from trying to heal disease. You can only create more health from connecting with the health, the abundance, the love, the serenity that is already present. Even if it's a sliver, there's always some level of lightness, even in your greatest pain. You can only allow that to expand. You can never fix this problem. I want to heal my balding hair. So be aware of that, and like where you're trying to escape the shame and embarrassment and energies this is bringing up, versus I'm going to bring in healing to love and nurture myself, period, end. Because yes, as you love and nurture yourself, your body has greater ability to heal, but it's not the other way around. All right, Stephanie said, I unfollowed lots of noise on social media and have gained so much clarity. Yeah, that's been really nutritive to me as well. Like, it would bring up so many things that I'm like, let me just, because I would compare myself to other people. And it was like, I don't need to do that. I can just be in my own space of honoring myself and like let in what really juices me up. All right, I'm going to answer a couple more because I know there's like tons of comments here. Jennifer says, one of my present challenges emanates from my son's chemo for brain cancer. I feel so deeply that it's completing this protocol is unnecessary, but I have no choice. You never have no choice. So I must release this resistance. I've done so previously, but now it seems this is manifest. Okay, you never have no choice. It may feel really, it may be really evident that to just move forward with the protocol is more fluid. Okay, so in a way, I guess we don't have choice, because when you become really aware, it's follow my fluidity or follow my fluidity. You would never consciously put resistance. You would never consciously like create more discord. So in alignment, there truly is one choice. There's clarity and you move forward with it. But don't buy into the idea like, I have no choice, like a victim-y kind of thing. I have to do this. Just feel into like, okay, it would create so much resistance to try to like stop that train and go in a different direction, and let's just flow with what we've got. And if you read Anita Moorjani's book, Dying to Be Me, she was able to be in such a heightened state of non-resistance and love that the chemo had no negative effects whatsoever on her cells. She's like, we get this toxic stuff going into my arm, and I know I have no cancer cells because she had such a transmutation in her body. But these medical people need to do it. They saw cancer yesterday, and they can't imagine there couldn't be cancer today, and they're digging and digging and digging for it, finding nothing. She knew it had been transmuted, but she allowed herself to receive this because it was what was required by the people around her. And she just knew she could allow total neutrality so that there were no harmful effects. So feel, yes, I must align with peace and serenity, knowing he will move through this into perfect wellness. Yes, because your fear as a parent is like, he doesn't need that. So if you can be in your own alignment of, I receive everything in grace and ease, you'll have the clarity to make the choices that are available. All right, I'm gonna sign off and say, oh, Susan says Embracing Health link. It's drkimd.com /health. I'm gonna put it in here. And like I said, tomorrow is gonna be when you can actually sign up to on the list to be alerted. We'll be alerting everyone on our list, but not as much as if people have specifically said, yes, please, I want to be a part of that. We'll make sure that you receive the emails and we connect so that you can have a spot in the course. All right, everyone. I'm sending so much love. This is our Mind Body TV. We'll be here each week at 11 a.m. Mountain Time on Wednesdays. Like I said, I'm moving forward with a lot of really exciting things. I am so psyched that we've got Embracing Health together in a way people can receive and integrate these really powerful calls where I worked with people live. But the transmutations were really powerful. So you'll sit with those, go through them in your own timing. You've got 2 a month over the course of a year, but you will have lifetime access to the Facebook group, which is a live group. So if you take 2 years to do the integration, it's fine. But it's something that I know is really powerful, and people have had really profound results with chronic fatigue, thyroid disease, fibromyalgia, infertility, skin problems, lupus, Lyme, infections, all kinds of these things that are really an evidence of that suppression, where the body's not in its fullest expression of health, and we're not accessing what we need, so that there's that opening and allowing and receiving. So you don't need to fight so hard. Thank you, everyone. Julie says, you're such a gift. Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I always love hearing from you. And we'll connect again. Bye.